Welcome to this video on one of the most controversial moments in recent UFC history. On March 6, 2021, Petr Yan defended his UFC bantamweight title against Aljamain Sterling at UFC 259. In the fourth round of the fight, Yan threw an illegal knee that changed the course of the bout and resulted in Sterling becoming the new champion. In this video, we'll take a closer look at what happened and examine the fallout from this infamous incident. Background. Before we dive into the illegal knee itself, let's provide some context for the fight. Yan and Sterling had been scheduled to face each other for the bantamweight title at UFC 256 in December 2020, but the fight was postponed due to COVID-19 concerns. Yan was coming off a dominant victory over former champion Jose Aldo, while Sterling had won 5 straight fights to earn a shot at the title. The first 3 rounds of the Yan-Sterling fight were competitive, with both fighters having their moments. Yan was landing hard strikes and mixing in takedowns, while Sterling was showing off his grappling skills and landing some solid shots of his own. In the fourth round, however, things took a turn for the worse. The illegal knee. With about a minute left in the round, Sterling was down on his back near the cage, with Yan standing over him. Sterling appeared to be hurt and was holding his head, and referee Mark Smith was checking on him. At this point, Yan threw a knee to Sterling's head, which is an illegal strike when a fighter is downed. Smith immediately stopped the fight and deducted a point from Yan for the foul. The aftermath. Sterling was clearly hurt by the knee and was unable to continue, so the fight was ruled a disqualification victory for him. This meant that Sterling became the new UFC bantamweight champion, while Yan was stripped of his title. Both fighters were emotional after the fight, with Sterling being stretchered out of the octagon and Yan apologizing for his mistake. Reactions and analysis. In the days and weeks following the fight, there was a lot of debate and discussion about the illegal knee and its impact on the bout. Some fans and analysts argued that Yan was winning the fight up until that point and would have gone on to win if not for the foul. Others pointed out that the knee was a clear violation of the rules and Yan deserved to be disqualified. There were also questions about how the illegal knee would affect Yan's career going forward. He had been one of the top rising stars in the UFC and was considered by many to be one of the best bantamweights in the world. Losing his title in such a controversial manner was a major setback for him, and there were doubts about how he would bounce back from the defeat. The rematch between Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan was one of the most highly anticipated fights of the year. After Yan lost his bantamweight title to Sterling due to an illegal knee in their first bout, fans were eager to see how the two fighters would fare in a fair fight. The rematch took place on October 30, 2021, at UFC 267 in Abu Dhabi. The first round was a feeling-out process, with both fighters cautious of making any mistakes. Yan landed a couple of significant strikes, but Sterling was able to avoid any serious damage. In the second round, Yan began to pick up the pace, landing some powerful leg kicks and jabs. Sterling seemed to be struggling to find his rhythm, and Yan began to take control of the fight. However, Sterling was able to land a takedown near the end of the round, showing that he still had some tricks up his sleeve. The third round was a back-and-forth affair, with both fighters landing significant strikes. Yan seemed to be getting the better of the exchanges, but Sterling continued to press forward, looking for an opening. The fourth round was where things started to go wrong for Yan. Sterling was able to take Yan down and landed some significant ground and pound, causing Yan to bleed from his nose. As Yan got back to his feet, he threw an illegal knee to the head of Sterling, resulting in a point deduction. The fifth and final round was a desperate one for Yan. He knew that he needed to finish the fight to have any chance of winning, but Sterling was able to avoid any serious damage and cruised to a decision victory. After the fight, Yan was understandably devastated. He had lost his title for the second time in a row, and this time, it was due to his own mistake. Sterling, on the other hand, was elated. He had proven that he was the better fighter and had redeemed himself after their first fight. The rematch between Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan was a highly entertaining and dramatic affair. Although the ending was marred by Jan's illegal knee, Sterling had shown that he was the better fighter on the night and had rightfully regained his bantamweight title. Conclusion. In conclusion, the illegal knee that Petr Yan threw during his fight against Aljamain Sterling was a pivotal moment in both fighters' careers and in UFC history. Whether you believe Yan deserved to be disqualified or not, there's no denying that the incident had major consequences for everyone involved. Only time will tell how Yan and Sterling will be remembered in the annals of MMA history, but one thing is for sure, the illegal knee will go down as one of the most memorable moments in recent UFC memory. Following the controversy, Petr Yan faced Sugar Sean O'Malley. Coming into the fight, Yan was a massive favorite. Despite being the favorite, Yan lost a close split decision. Later, Yan faced Merab Dvalishvili in a fight night main event. Yan proceeded to lose all 5 rounds versus Merab. On the other hand, Aljamain Sterling defended his title versus TJ Dillashaw, one of the best bantamweights of all time. He is scheduled to fight Henry Cejudo for the championship. A win would make Sterling one of the best bantamweights ever, while on the other hand Petr Yan has lost 4 out of his last 5 fights.